The book, He Knows Your Name, is a book written from my vantage point about starting He Knows Your Name Ministries. And as founder of that organization, over the last 5.5 years, I have just told stories to help people understand the message of the gospel through the story of life and tragedy and suffering and healing and redemption. To stand with people in times of crisis and walking through honoring and dignifying life, primarily through the lives of babies that have been abandoned. Abandonment comes in a lot of different forms. We have abandonment at the coroner's office, we have abandonment at hospitals, and we have abandonment just out in the elements when someone might give birth at a park and leave their baby there. What I've realized through working with the coroner's office, working with the legal system here, funeral homes and cemeteries, that we can adopt babies in death, we can claim them, name them, dress them in beautiful burial gowns, and give them an honorable and dignified burial, and celebrate their life. And we come together as a community and stand around the grave in a church without walls and celebrate the legacy that we know is going to come from that child's life.
There is a new development in the case of a newborn baby found dead in a local creek. Someone has stepped forward. It's not the mother. As I learned today, it's a woman who wants that baby to have a name and dignity in death.
Linda Znachko with the He Knows Your Name Ministry donated that headstone.
Linda Znachko, who leads a group called He Knows Your Name Ministries, says that baby girl still has a special purpose.
When my next guest happened upon a story of 3 children in need, they went big to help the kids out. Please welcome Linda.
I know so surely that every child, even though I never met that child, is going to have a purpose, and that child will change me, and they'll change everyone who's standing around that grave to honor that life. And that's really why we do what we do, because we claim that every life matters. Writing the book was an interesting process for me because I was very overwhelmed by the thought of being a writer. And I thought, how in the world can I start writing all these stories? And so I challenged the Lord on that a lot. I went back and forth in conversations in my head thinking, how am I going to do this? And one day when I was journaling, I finished a journal and I closed it and I went to my office and I pulled another one out. And I looked on my shelf and I saw about 24 inches worth of journals stacked. The spirals were all lined up. And it's like the Lord said to me, you've already written the book, Linda. Don't get overwhelmed. And I realized that I had been journaling for so long, it had already been a daily discipline for me, that I'd written everything down already. And so the last 5 years were already written and the stories were already told. I asked the Lord to give me a verse and really speak to me from His heart about what this would mean and what would this look like and what would the purpose of it be. And He gave me Revelation 19:10, which says the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. And I thought, oh, that's what this is. It's all a testimony to you, Jesus. It's all the work you have been doing in and through me, and then in and through this community, and in the lives of people you've brought me. And I see that through the book, by telling those stories, it's igniting life inside of people. I can tell their story. I need to tell their story, because when I tell their story, things happen. Things come alive in people. The purpose I hope to see be birthed from this book is that everyone would realize that there is a calling on their life. And even if though they don't know what it is, maybe yet, that they test it and they say yes to a lot of different things, and they explore what would it look like for me to respond to this hard thing over here. I think if we all watch the news in an hour sitting, something is going to jump off the screen and penetrate our heart and cause us to question and wonder, why did that happen? What could be done differently if I would ask a question or do something about that? What's going on in my community that needs me to step out and take a risk and answer the call, so to speak, of why is my heart beating so heavy here? What do I need to do? And that's really all I did. I took the risk and made a phone call that felt risky, and that I didn't know who was on the other end of the phone, and I'd never called the coroner's office before, but it also felt like it was an easy first step. My encouragement to people is to say, even if you don't know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, do something. Keep pushing and keep saying yes to God. And that is really, at the end of the day, the most satisfying thing for me to be doing.